the Sabaeans before the time of Muhammad. These were pagans. The beliefs about heaven and the houris, the sex slaves that Muslim men will get in heaven, these were the beliefs of the pagan Persians. Almost everything we find in Islam, as far as practices are concerned, is derived from paganism. So that's what we're discussing during the show.
All right. Are you trying to like prove us wrong or something?
Islam? Yes, absolutely. We definitely want to show that Islam is false.
Okay, is that going to change anybody's mind? Is that going to convert anybody?
No, my goal, I mean, people do convert. My best friend is a convert from Islam. I know several people who have left Islam based on the fact that Muhammad is a false prophet and based on the outstanding evidence we have for Christianity. But my concern, just to clarify, my concern is not so much converting people away from Islam as keeping people from converting to Islam, because I'm convinced if the world becomes aware of the facts about Muhammad, about the pagan origins, about some of the abominable practices of Muhammad, that no one will ever convert to Islam unless a sword is put to their neck. So that's my view, but go ahead.
Okay, are you trying to like, I don't know, are you trying to convert people? Because people aren't going to convert for whatever the heck you're trying to say. It really doesn't matter.
Well, I have to agree with you. I don't know where you're getting the claim that people won't convert based on learning about Muhammad. Zechariah Boutros is doing exactly what we're doing right now, except he's been doing it for much longer. And thousands of people, thousands of Muslims have left Islam based on learning the facts about Islam. Again, I know many people who have left Islam. One of the hosts, one of our standard hosts here, Pastor Joe, is a former Muslim. So over and over and over again, we see people leaving Islam, and it's usually people who study Islam and learn what it actually teaches, and then they're horrified at what it actually teaches, and people who turn to Christianity and realize, since Jesus rose from the dead, his message has to be from God. Go ahead.
My dad would like to say something.
Sure, okay. Sure, no problem.
Please. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Sir, are you there?
Hello?
Never mind.
Okay.
So y'all made this show, like, just to contrast?
All right, go ahead.
Did you make this whole show, this whole, like, TV, did you make it all, like, to just contrast between Christians and Muslims?
Yes. The purpose of the show, that's why it's called Jesus or Muhammad, and that's because when you examine the teachings of Muhammad and you examine the teachings of Jesus, you find that they are irreconcilable. They cannot both be teaching the truth from God, because according to Jesus, he came into the world to die on the cross for sins, rise from the dead, and he is the incarnate Lord. He is the divine Son of God. Muhammad denied all of this, and that means they can't both be speaking the truth. One of them has to be wrong. And so the purpose of this show is for all people around the world, whoever is interested in learning the truth, we are presenting the facts to them. We are presenting the facts about Islam, the facts about the Quran, the facts about Muhammad, as well as the facts about the Bible, the facts about Jesus. We are presenting the facts about both religions so that people, instead of just believing what they're taught to believe, instead of just believing what their parents tell them or what their mosque or their church tells them, we want people to base their beliefs upon the evidence. And so we present the evidence for that. We can't control people, what they're going to do with the evidence, but we want to make sure that people know the evidence, because what we find so often, as in the case with Omar, if you were watching, you saw Omar, almost everything he believed about Christianity and almost everything he believed about Islam was totally wrong. Not wrong from our opinion, factually wrong. We can point to sources documenting that he's wrong. For instance, when he said the Quran has been perfectly preserved. Well, according to all of his Muslim sources, the Quran hasn't been perfectly preserved. So the purpose of this show is to present people with facts and information so that they can make the correct conclusion rather than just believing what they're taught to believe.
Okay, there's no difference between Jesus, because Muslims, first of all, they do believe in Jesus, and they do believe in his cause.
Well, I have to disagree, because when we go back historically, again, not just whatever we want to believe about Jesus, when we go to his followers and what they claimed that he said, we find that Jesus claimed to be the divine Son of God. So he is not just some random person. He is the incarnate Lord. He is Lord. He is the divine Son of God. That's what Jesus said about himself, and this is why people wanted him killed. So this Jesus said he's going to die on the cross for sins. He's going to be the sacrifice for sins, and that he's going to rise from the dead. Then he rose from the dead, proving that what he said about himself is true. Now we turn to Muhammad, and Muhammad said, no, that never happened. And Muslims say, we believe in Jesus. No, you don't. That's like me saying, I believe in Muhammad. I don't believe what you believe about Muhammad. I believe he was a false prophet. I believe he did all kinds of things that I cannot consent to as a Christian. I believe that he existed. I believe that he was a person. Does this mean that I believe in Muhammad? No, I don't believe in Muhammad. Similarly, Muslims believe not in the true Jesus, not in the Jesus that actually came into the world. Muslims believe in a Jesus who spoke in the cradle, which the true Jesus never did. They believe in a Jesus who never died on the cross, which the true Jesus did. They believe in a Jesus who never claimed to be divine. That's something that Jesus, the real Jesus, did. And so when you claim that you believe in Jesus, you're not believing in the true Jesus. You're believing in a fictional, mythological Jesus that Muhammad preached. Now, what we want to do on this show is show you what you believe about Jesus is false. We want you to believe in the true Jesus, not some false Jesus that you've been presented with. But go ahead.
Okay, you want us to believe in the real Jesus and leave Islam and leave Muhammad. Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, okay, is this taking place in America?
What's that?
What about America?
Is this taking place in America?
Yes.
Taking place in Muslim countries and Canada.
I believe in freedom of speech, but you should give respect.
We should give respect?
Yes, you should really give respect.
We are. We're speaking respectfully right now. What do you mean? Are you saying that we shouldn't try and show other people that their beliefs are false?
No, whenever you were
so
Omar,
you just said
mystical beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not respect.
Okay, well, I have to disagree with you, but listen, assuming what you're saying is true, you're saying that it's wrong to criticize people for their beliefs. I would encourage you to read Surah 9, verse 30. In fact, I'll include the verse before it after I read 30. Verse 30 of chapter 9 of the Quran says, and the Jews say, Uzair is the son of Allah. And the Christians say, the Messiah is the son of Allah. These are the words of their mouths. They imitate the saying of those who disbelieved before. May Allah destroy them. Destroy who? Destroy the Jews and the Christians because of our beliefs, how they are turned away. In fact, the verse just before this, Surah 9:29, commands Muslims to fight Jews and Christians because we reject the religion of truth, which it claims is Islam. If you go to Surah 5:17, it says that any Christian who affirms the deity of Christ is an unbeliever. If you affirm that Jesus is divine, you are an unbeliever. So according to the Quran, I am not a believer in the truth. And we go to Surah 98:6, which says that anyone